Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial on how to use MT4. So I'm going to start with exactly where you start. As soon as you download the MT4, it doesn't matter which broker you're using, it's going to land on this page. This is the first page that opens up as soon as you install your MT4. And on this page, I want you to note that when you open an account with any broker, they're going to send you an email. And in that email, they're going to tell you exactly what servers to use, what password to use, and of course, the login ID. So you just need to check your email and figure out like what server you need to use and of course, what password you're going to use and login ID. So in my case, I'm going to check my email and select the server that I'm going to use. Then next, you're going to just click next as soon as you select your server. Then the next thing that pops up here is this pop-up box. And here we have new demo account, new real account, and existing trade account. So obviously, by the time you download the MT4, you have registered for an existing trading account with your broker. So you're going to just click on existing trade account. Then it's going to prompt you to put your login and your password. And of course, there's this little button here that you should always tick, like save your password so that you don't need to be logging in every single time that you come back to your MT4. So I'm going to key in my password and login ID, or rather account number. This box is always ticked most of the time. And then as soon as you're done, just hit on finish. Then before then, you had noticed that this part was
incoming mail.
Was no connection, but right now, like you can see, as soon as internet was on, as soon as you logged in into your account, it started showing some activity in terms of connection. So as soon as you log in, this is the first page that opens up. This is the exact way MT4 opens every single time. We have all these things around that I'm going to be showing you, all of them. So the first thing I do is, as soon as you open MT4, you need to do a couple of things. You need to customize your charts, and then you need to customize how you want your MT4 to look like. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to click this. I'm going to close this bar here, and then I'm going to close this one as well, and I'm going to close this one as well, so that I can remain with my charts. And then I'm going to, this is the minimize, the maximize, and of course the close. So I'm going to maximize one of these. You can maximize any of them so that we can be able to customize our chart to look however we want it to look like. So here we are. This is the EURUSD pair and its chart. So the first thing I do, as soon as I download my MT4, the first customizing I do is on the background and the indicators I want on my chart. So to do that, you're going to right click anywhere on the screen, and then hit on properties here at the very bottom. So in here, you're going to see you can customize your background, your foreground. You can choose whether you want grids. So your bar up means like bullish candle, bar down means bearish candle. Then bull candle, of course, is how solid it is. So the first thing is you can change most of the time, like the bullish candle is always green, and more often than not, people use bearish candle as red. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to come here to bar up and select green. I'm going to bar down, select red, and then bull candle, select green again, and then bear candle, select red. And you can see in this preview here, you can be able to see what changes you're making. Then the next thing you can change here, of course, you can change your line graph. If you normally use your line graph, you can always change the color here. Line is not very visible more often than not, so you can put black or whichever color you want. Then we have the background and the foreground. So the background means like right now my background is black. So if you don't like black, you can change it to whichever color you want. For example, I use light gray, And then the foreground, I always put it, if you're using a dark background, use a light foreground. And if you're using a dark foreground, use a light background. So in my case, I'm using a light background. So I'm going to put black, which is a dark foreground. Foreground means the writings here. So all of this quote price and of course everything else. The next thing, as we notice right now, like our chart has grids. I don't like using grids because yeah, they're just grids. They don't integrate well with anything that I do. So the next thing I do is I come to common. So we have colors and common. Over here, like I don't change anything apart from the grid. So I remove show grid and then I put show period separators. So what period separators are is they're going to separate each and every day for you. So you'll see the day begins here and the day ends here. So I feel like that gives me more perspective than just having grids. Okay, so as soon as you're done with that, just hit OK and your chart is now customized. You can see we have a light gray background and of course our foreground is black. So that's the first thing I do. Then now now let's come to, or rather that's how you customize the background and everything on your chart. So I'm going to start showing you how to use your MT4 from this point, from the toolbar here. And of course we have the file, view, insert, charts, tools, windows, and help. So I'm going to start with the functionalities of all of this. So on the file, I don't use much of anything here. And then we come to view. So view, we have a couple of things. And I'm going to be showing you each and everything and what its purpose is. Of course, there is language. You can always, MT4 is offered in so many languages, all of this included. Then the next thing is toolbar. So we have standard, chart, line studies, and time frame. So I'm going to show you what the toolbar is. The toolbar is this particular part of your MT4. So all of these functionalities, this is your toolbar and it's customizable. As you can see, I can literally, this is one of them. This is another. Okay, so if you come here at view, toolbar, the standard is this first one. The charts is this second one. Line study is this one. This is your line study, this particular one, and everything in it. Then we have your time frames. So these are your time frames. So the toolbar is really important. It brings most of these functionalities closer to you. They become easily accessible. So anything on view, toolbar, anything over here, you can actually access straight here without having to go to view and then finding it here. So you can access all of these functionalities without having to come here. Then the next thing is the status bar, the chat bar. Now the next important things are market watch, data, navigation, terminal, and strategy tester. And if you notice this particular part, we have all of those functionalities have been repeated here. So we are going to be going through them as soon as we come here. The next thing is insert. So at insert, if you want to insert any indicator, all indicators are found here. You just need to click on insert indicator and you can see and follow, and you can see all the indicators from the trend. The trend, we have the Bollinger Bands, envelopes, Ichimoku, moving averages, they're all here. The oscillators, we have the MACD, momentum, and everything. We have volume, we have the Bill Williams, and of course, we have custom. So custom indicators means indicators that have been created by individuals as an extra. Okay, so all of these indicators are available for you to use. Then the next thing is line. The next part is line. For line, we have, of course, when you're trading, you would want to have a vertical line, you would want to have a horizontal line and trend lines. You can find them here, all of them here. But then again, these same functionalities have been repeated here. You can see them here, the vertical line, horizontal line, and the trend line. So we're going to be going through them when we get here. Again, on insert, we have channels. If you use channels, if you use Fibonacci, all of these are available here. If you draw shapes, we have rectangles, triangles, ellipses. You can draw them here. If you want arrows, they're also here. Thumbs up. If you want to have check signs and all those things, like they're all here. But again, we have text and text label. These two, we're going to be talking about them here. So if you've noticed, all of these functionalities on insert, most of them are on this bar here. So we'll talk about them when we get there. Then the next thing is chart. So on the chart, everything here on chart, we have shortcuts for it here. So this one, this bar here has shortcuts for charts. So we're going to be talking about the indicator list. We're going to be talking about objects. Whether you want to use bar chart or candlesticks or line graph, whether you want to, you're changing your time frame. We have a time frame there on the toolbar. Whether you want to scroll, all of these functionalities, we're going to be talking about them when we get here. Then we have window. There are several functionalities here. We have the tile style. So windows means like you have pairs, you've opened a couple of pairs on your screen, and you want them to look a certain way. So I'm going to be talking about this particular window here. It has its function shortcut here again. And then finally, of course, if you need help, like there's a lot that there's an entire MQL5 communities. We have articles and online searches that you can make to help you navigate your MT4. So that's the first part. So let's dive into the toolbar and all of these functionalities and how they can assist you navigate your MT4 much better. And I'm going to start with the Market Watch. So the Market Watch, if you click on Market Watch, it's going to bring you the Forex pairs and any other tradable instrument that is available in your broker. So for example, in my case, I only have Forex pairs. And in case you find that the pairs that you're looking for are not here and your broker has them, you can always right click and then show all. If you show all, there's gonna be more. As you can see that now you can even see commodities and all that. So if you want to, you can even see some stocks here. In short, you can see more tradable instruments when you click on share more. Okay, so that's it. Also, you'll find that some brokers, for example, when you see pairs that are not that are in light gray, they're not in dark gray, it means you can't trade this. And from this point, you can see they've been written in dark black. So these are in light gray. So you can't trade these pairs. So you can only trade the ones that are in dark. So that's another thing to note. You can only trade the pairs that are in dark mode. So for example, you can trade all of these pairs now. So that's it on MarketWatch. You can also expand this so that you can be able to see the pairs better. You can do that. So if you want to add a pair here, like if you want to view a pair, you just come. For example, you want to view GBP USD, you just right click and then click on chart window. So when you click on chart window, there are a couple of ways you can go around this. When you click on chart window, it's gonna open for you an entire new window like this one. So you can see all your open pairs at the bottom here. So right now we have Euro USD, USDC CHF, GBP USD, USDC JPY, and GBP USD again. But as I told you that these are pairs that you can't trade. I can't trade particularly in this particular broker, but then I can trade these that are in dark, that have been bolded. Okay, so that means the GBP USD I have here, I can be able to trade it. So as soon as anytime you open a pair, for example, if we open GBP JPY and click on chart window, it adds itself here so that you can be able to navigate easily across different pairs. So this is how you navigate across different pairs. If you double click on any of this, you double click on it, it's gonna bring you all the pairs in one one cascade, like all of these are the pairs that we've opened right now. So an easy way to arrange so that you can be able to view them, all of them at a go, is click on this arrange windows as non-overlapping tiles. So right now these windows are overlapping. So each pair is some of them overlapping, others are on top of each other, but then you can move this around. So you just hit on the arrange window and they're going to be arranged. And now no pair is overlapping on another. You can be able to see all the pairs that are available. And this is also important because when you want to watch multiple pairs, you can use this view and watch multiple pairs at a go. You can also expand. You can play around with this. If you want to watch only 3 pairs, you can play around with it. In short, there's a lot you can do around here. So that is how you use the MarketWatch. That's exactly how you use MarketWatch. So yeah, that's on MarketWatch. The next thing I'm going to be showing you is the navigator. So let me go back to TileView, the navigator, and it's right here. So here, the navigator looks like this. You have your broker, you have the account, and as soon as you log in to your account, you're going to be seeing your account here, like listed below here. Like for example, this is my account, it's listed below there. And the next thing is you can hit on this plus. You have all the indicators that you would want here. So indicators can be found here at insert. All these indicators are found here. And also you can find them, the exact same indicators here. Like you just hit on this plus button and you can see all the indicators. If you want to see indicators based on trend, they're here. Based on oscillators, they're all here. So you can also install your indicators from this point. The next thing to note is that when you have multiple accounts in the same broker, they're going to be listed here. So when you maximize on accounts, you're going to see all the accounts that you have registered under a certain broker. So you can log into multiple accounts. And when you want to switch around accounts, you just come to MarketWatch, and then you can switch between accounts. At this particular time, I only have one account in this MT4. So that's it for the navigator. So you can see you can put your indicators. For example, if you want to put the moving average, you just double click on it, and then it's going to ask you the period, whether simple, exponential, or smooth, and then apply to close. Of course, it always apply to close. You can change the color that you want your indicator to be. For example, maybe I want a blue one. You can change whether you want a continuous line or dotted line. You can change here whether you want it darker as the thickness of the line that you want. So maybe I could choose this and I could click OK. So as you can see, the 14 moving average is here. It's appeared on my screen. If you want to add another moving average, you just do the same, like double click on it. Maybe this time you want 200 or maybe 50 moving average, and then you can always change the colors so that you can be able to identify which is which, and then you can just click OK, and it's going to appear on your chart. So that's on how to do indicators on MarketWatch. So the next thing I'm going to be showing you is this button right here. It's called the terminal. So when you click on the terminal, it's going to open a bar at the bottom here. So you can see we have a couple of functionalities here. We have trade, exposure, account history, news, alerts, and all that. Okay. So as soon as when your MT4 is new and you've just opened, it's going to open the mailbox. So I want you to just shift to trade. Click on trade, and over here you're going to be able to see your balance, your equity, and your free margin. So this is where also when you open trades, this is where they appear. This is where you can be able to monitor your trades and all that. Then the next important thing here is the account history. So account history, you're going to be able to see your account history, the trades that you've closed. You're going to see them here, all of them here on the account history. So I think those are the two most important functionalities, the trade part and the account history. So yeah, that's on terminal. And I'm going to be opening a thread so that you can actually be able to see how it appears at the terminal bar. But before then, let's move on. The next thing you're going to see here is the strategy tester. So I'm going to click on it. So anytime you want to use a strategy tester or an expert advisor, they're mostly called expert advisors, you're going to just come here, you'll install it in your MP4, and then you're going to come here and you'll find it here. If you click on this, you're going to see all the expert advisors that you've installed on your MP4, you're going to see them here. And from there, then you can always pick the symbols and test whatever you want to test. So that's on the strategy tester. The next thing is this here, which is opening an order. So if you want to, I think I'm going to cover this after I'm done with this. I'll show you how to open an order, how to place a stop loss and all that. But before then, let's first continue. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is this, like the bar chart, candlesticks and line chart. So if you want the bar charts, you can always click here and you can see that the bar charts have changed. If you want candlesticks, they're here, and if you want the line graph, it's here. So as I told you that if you're using a dark background, use a light. Make the line graph light. For me, I'm using a light background, so I made my line graph black, and you can see it here. So if you like using the line graph, this is where you change. Then if you want to zoom in and zoom out of the chart, this is where you do it. You can always zoom in and you can always zoom out from this particular place. Then the next thing is the tile view. I have showed you how to, when you click the tile view, it automatically arranges for you all the pairs that you've opened, and you can be able to watch multiple pairs at a go. If you want to zoom in on one, you just zoom in on, you just maximize, and it's going to be full screen. Then the next thing I'm going to show you is these two, the scroll chart and the shift end. So I wanted to watch what happens when I click the shift end. So if I click on this, the market moves back and it gives me space around here. And when I click on it, remove it, the market starts here. So this particular one controls like where the market starts. So if you like some space, some room, maybe to draw your predictions, then I would recommend you use it, you put it there. So even if you scroll, it still comes back here. Then this other one, the scroll lock, this is like a scroll lock. If I want to scroll back and this is on, I cannot be able to do that. So if you watch me, like I'm trying to scroll back, but it keeps bringing me back to the current chart. So if you're trading and you want your chart not to scroll backwards, then you click on this button. But if you want to scroll back, then you remove it, and then now you can scroll back as much as you want, but only when you've removed this. Maybe you want to backtest or something, then you need to remove you need to click on this, remove the scroll lock, and then you can be able to scroll backwards. So that is on that. Then the next thing I'm going to be showing you is now this part down here. So if you want to make drawings or analysis on your chart, this is where you come from. This is where you come. You want to make a horizontal line, you can make one. Okay, you want to make a vertical line, you can make one. And as usual, if you want to customize if you want to customize anything on the chart, you just need to, any line on the chart or any drawing, just double click on it and then right click and click on properties, vertical line properties, and it's going to bring you this pop-up. And here you can change the color that you want. You can change the thickness, and you can obviously change whether you want it to be dotted or not, and all that. So also you can change the visualization. So this part is important. If you do want it to show in all time frames, then well and good. Then you just click on stick on show on all time frames. If you want the vertical line to only be on a particular time frame, then you can always click on it and it's going to be on that particular time frame alone. So that's on that. Then the next thing here is the draw horizontal line. So I'm going to you just click on it and then click on the chart. Also, something else to note that if you want to move it around, like you can see when the vertical line has these two boxes on each end, it means like you can drag it around. Assuming you want to place it here, you can always drag it around and just place it wherever you want to place it. Then something very important to note is as soon as you place it where you want to place it, double click on it so that those boxes are disappear. And that means that now it can't be dragged. You can't move it around. Then the next thing, if you want to delete it, there are a couple of ways you can delete it. You can double click on it and then just click on delete on your computer or laptop, hit on the delete button. Or if you want to delete it, another way to delete it is just double click on it, then right click and delete. Just do the delete button and it's going to disappear. So the next thing is I'm going to show you how to draw a horizontal line, and here it is. You just click on the horizontal line and then click on it, click on the chart, and it's going to appear. Once again, like if you double click on it, you can see these boxes at the end here. That means that you can, when you double click on it and those boxes appear, you can right click and go to horizontal line properties. And here you can change the color, you can change the fill and everything. However you want it to look like, you can do that. Then always remember, as soon as you're done editing or doing that, or changing the properties, you double click on it so that those lines disappear, so that you don't draw your lines and then they keep moving around. Again, the same thing applies if you want to shift it to Ninit. This line is not visible. If you want to shift it, just double click and then you can drag it to wherever you want. Maybe you want to mark this zone, you can drag it to wherever you want to drag it to. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to draw trend lines. So trend lines are commonly used by traders, so I'll show you exactly how to draw them on MT4. So you just click on them and then you click and drag that line. So the first time you're going to draw a trend line on your MT4, it's going to appear like this. It's going to be infinite. Like as you can see, it's infinite. I've only dragged it until here, but it's gone to infinite. So what you're going to do is just double click on it, then right click on it and go to trend line properties. And the most important thing is come to parameters and then uncheck this box ray. When you uncheck, click OK, you can now see your trend line is exactly where you want it to, exactly how you want it to. Maybe you want to mark this right here. Now you can move it, use these arrows, the boxes at the end to drag, to extend, or do whatever you want to do. The middle one, you can use it to, if you don't shift the angle at which it is, you can always use this to drag it to wherever you want to drag it to. Then of course, always double click when you're done. If you want to change the color, just come to trend line properties, come to common, and again, the colors are always here. Like pick whatever color you want, the thickness, and yeah, you have your trend line. And then always remember to double click. Then the next thing I'm going to show you is how to write text on your MT4. So there's this draw text and there's draw text label. So these have two different functionalities, and I'm going to be showing you right now. So let's start with this one. Just click on it and hit on this. So it's going to bring you this pop-up box. So the name doesn't matter. The text is what matters. So if I want some text to appear there, maybe I want to say market is in a range. If I want to write that, then I can always change. You can use size 10. This is the font. You can change the font. You can change the font size. And of course, you can always change the the color of the label, then you can click OK. You don't need to change the name because the name doesn't matter. What matters is the text and everything else. And you just click OK. So here, market is in arrange. So that is how you write text on your MT4. So if you need to take some notes, obviously, as usual, if you want to edit anything on your MT4, just double click on it. And when it brings the edit bar, like you can change text properties. Probably you want it to be bigger, you can use size 14 and click OK. Then always remember to remove it from edit mode. Then as usual, you can always shift it to wherever you want. So I want to show you the difference between this text, drawing text, and a text label. So let's click on text label, click on this. Okay. So a text label means that it's going to stick on your screen. No, even if you move your charts. So let me just show you, demonstrate that. Maybe text labels could be used as a reminder, maybe you want to trade. Maybe you want to trade London only, London session only. So this could be just a simple reminder, Okay, then okay, let's go with that. So trade London session only. So I want you to notice the difference when I move my charts. Let me remove the scroll lock. When I move my charts, the text is permanent there, while the label doesn't move from my screen. It doesn't move. So that's the difference between a text and a label. A label means that it's going to be there full time on your screen, and text means like it's only going to be where you've put it. So exactly where you've put it is exactly where it's going to be. So I think that's a big difference to note. So the next thing is this bar right here. This bar right here gives you all the time frames that you need to trade. If you trade 1 hour, if you trade 30 minutes, 15 minutes, you can easily switch through time frames using this particular feature. So that is on the toolbar, and we're done going through that. So I think the next thing that is remaining is for me to show you how to open a trade and of course how to manage it. So there are a couple of ways you can open a trade. And the first one and the easiest one is using this. So but before I go there, I'd like to show you something very important. So assuming you use, this is 14 moving average, and this is 50 moving average. Okay, great. So if you want to see a list, if you want to remove an indicator, assuming you want to remove the red one, I don't know, it's 14 moving average. You want to remove the 14 moving average from your chart so that you remain with the 50 and this one. So there are a couple of ways you can delete an indicator from your chart. The first way is you just go hover around it. For example, this red one, I'm going to just hover around it, and then it's going to bring moving average 14, and then I just right click on it and then delete indicator. You see, the indicator is gone. Another way is to right click on your chart and then come to indicator list. So when you right click on your chart and come to indicator list, click there, you can see that there are two moving averages on your chart, and you can see them here. So if you want to probably change some settings for it, you can change here. If you want to delete, you can delete here. You can delete whichever moving average that you want, and as you can see, it's gone. So the other thing is I want to show you that is really important is how to save a template. So assuming your strategy uses, let's go to the navigator and add a moving average, maybe a 50 move, maybe a 20 moving average. Let's change the color to this. Okay. So maybe your strategy uses 20 moving average and 50 moving average, and this is your chart setup. So instead of if you change settings for one pair, like this particular pair, then you come to the next one. As you can see, this chart is new and it hasn't been formatted yet. It hasn't been customized yet. So you can come back here. If you want to carry the settings of this pair and take it to another chart, you just come, click on template, right click, click on template, and then save template. When you save template, it means that it's going to save your background, all the indicators that you've put there. It's going to save all the settings that you've done on this chart. So as soon as you get your MT4 and you just take one pair, do all the settings that you need to do, your indicators, your background and everything, and then just save template. Click on save template. It's going to bring you a pop-up. Just change the template name. Maybe the template name for this one is EMA template. Just write any name, whatever your strategy is called, and then click OK. So when I come to this pair, here's the CHF, as you can see, it has completely new settings. So you can just right click on move to template, and then you can notice like your save template is here, EMA template. And as soon as you click on it, all your indicators are here now, and your background and everything, it's right here. So that is how you save a template, so that it can save you time on having to go change settings for each and every chart that you open. So as soon as you make your settings on one, you just need to just go doing the same for all the other pairs. Like just template, you load your template for each and every pair that you want to trade. So that's how to load your template. I feel like that is really important. Then the next thing is, if you want to do some back testing. So back testing means like going back in time and looking at previous charts, so that you can be able to test your strategy, see how it performs. You can do all those things. If you want to do that, then it's very easy to load charts. What you do is you need to remove the scroll lock right here. Remove the scroll lock, and then I like to minimize completely. And then after that, just scroll backwards to whatever time that you want to go back to. So for example, I've scrolled all the way to April 10. Probably I want to start in January 2022. Here is January, here it is. After that, after you're there, now you can just zoom in and you can start your backtesting session. Okay, like you can look at probably you trade dynamic moving average. You can see that here, and all that. So that is how you backtest. From there, you can just move forward. The other thing I want to show you guys is how to forward test. So backtesting means that you go back in time and then you can actually see the entire market. Okay, you can see your entire setup. So assuming you want to just load your charts bit by bit, like one candlestick after another, so that you can be able to forward test, so that you see whether you've mastered your entries and all that. You don't want to see what has already happened in the market. You want to act as if the market is live and you're actually trading. So what you do is you just click on F12. When you click on F12 and you're back in time, as you can see, every time I click on F12, it's one candlestick appears, one candlestick appears, one candlestick appears. So that is how to forward test on your MT4. Just an easy hack. If you don't have a software and all that, that is how you can be able to forward test on MT4. So the next thing I'm going to show you now is opening a trade on MT4. So let's load the template. Let's load the template here. So we have right here, we have this part here. So there's normally a button here, hide trade panel, show trade panel. So you can navigate through it here. So there are a couple of ways you can open a trade. So the first and the easiest way is using this here. So it's direct. You can put the lot size that you want, and you can pick either sell or buy. So it's right here, right direct. So assuming you're trading maybe in the 15 minutes or wherever, and you're seeing the market is going up, so you can always hit buy immediately. So the first time you hit buy, it's going to prompt you to agree to one-click trading, one click. So you just accept the terms and click OK, and then hit buy. and the moment you hit buy, your trade appears. Okay, so that is one way of placing a trade. The other way is using this button right here, new order. Click on new order. Okay, as I told you, as soon as you open a trade, like, you can always check your terminal. Your terminal is here, right here. You can see the trade that we've opened, one lot. It's running right now. You can see it's right here, right? So this is where you manage your trade. It tells you the pair, the lot size that you, whether you bought or sold, and all that. You understand that? Then after that, there are a couple of ways there are a couple of things you can do with this information. You can see that I haven't put my stop loss, and you can see I haven't put my take profit. So when you place a trade like that, like, how do you do next? So there are a couple of ways to put your stop loss. One of them is to just drag. You click on, you drag backwards. Maybe you want to risk $500. So you do exactly that. As you can see, at this end, it tells you exactly how much. And then I want you to watch here. Maybe you want to put your take profit. You can always drag it to wherever you want to. Maybe your take profit, you want $1,000. So you can do that. And when you come back here to your terminal view, you can see your take profit and stop loss are now set. So that is one way to place your trade and put your stop loss and take profit. Which is also the fastest way, you just hit buy or sell here and then drag your stop loss, drag your take profit immediately. So the next way to open a trade is just click here, new order. And when you click new order, you can see we have the volume, we have the pair. So you have to be, whichever pair you're in at that particular moment is going to show here. Like, this is the symbol. You have your volume, one lot, you have your stop loss. So you can manually key in your stop loss, manually key in your take profit, and then just sell or buy the market. So this is the second way you can place a trade using this pop-up box here. Then, of course, there's the third way. The third way, you just come here to the market watch. Assuming you want to open a trade on GBP USD, you can right click on GBP USD, and it's going to prompt you to do a new order. And then when you click on new order, it's going to open this pop-up box. So that is how to place a trade on MT4. Yeah. So what's next? I'm going to show you, assuming you've placed your stop loss and your take profit and you want to edit them, you can always come here to terminal and double click on the position, and then it's going to bring you here. So when you double click on a position, you can always change the stop loss, you can always change the take profit, okay, to whichever levels you want. Then something else that I want to show you guys is how to close a partial position. So assuming your strategy has your strategy, in your strategy you can close a partial, you need to close a partial position. So how do you do that? So right now I have opened one lot. So you can always come here. You have the type of order that you want to open. So there is a modify order. When you want to modify an order and it's already running, it's either a stop loss or a take profit. Or you can do a market execution. So if I click on market execution, it opens up more features here. So I could close maybe a partial position, maybe close 0.5 of a lot. So assuming I want to close 0.5 of a lot, then I can put the volume there, and then the pair, and then of course just click on close position. So as you can see right now, I have one lot on the table. Okay, so if I want to close 0.5 loss, I just put 0.5, put on market execution, and then close out. And as you can see, it's going to close 0.5 of my position. And when you come to account history, you can see the position that was closed. Yeah, you can always see the history, what trades have you opened and what trades have you closed. That's it. So what else do I need to show you guys? I need to show you, I think that's it. I have showed you how to open your trades, how to manage your trade. If you want to close this trade without having to hit your take profit or stop loss, you can always hit the X button here. That's one way to close, or you can right click and then close order. So whichever you want to do, you can just do that. You can either right click and close order, or you can just click the X button. I think the X button more efficient. It's faster if you want to close. And you can always put close the navigation, the terminal there. Okay, so that's how to place your orders. I think the last thing I'll show you guys is how to place a pending order. You just need to click on new order here, then um, put your stop loss and your take profit, and then after that put on the type, the contract type instead of market execution, just say pending order. So yeah, like assuming your stop loss is maybe 103, 5, and then you take profit maybe 1, 1. You can do that, and then you can choose whether it's a buy limit, a sell limit, buy stop, or sell stop. So assuming it's a buy stop, and then at what price you need to mention at what price. Maybe the price is at 1785. So that is how you place your volume. You have the stop loss, you have the profit, the type, you put pending order, and then the type again, the type of pending order, you put your price stop for whichever order you want to do, and then you just place. So that means like it's going to be activated as soon as the market gets there, whichever direction that you choose. So that's how to open a pending order, that's how to open an order, and we've gone through the entire navigation bar and how to customize your chart, how to save your template, and all that. So thank you guys for taking your time to go through this tutorial with me, and all the best to you trading. Thank you.